Right, hi you guys, it's me again. We just haven't been out detecting. The weather's been terrible. Obviously it's been Christmas, as you all know, and we've had family here and one thing and another. Anyway, we haven't been out. But I did think that I'd show you what we've found in one field on one of our permissions. And this is all over 5 months, so we're excited for next year, obviously. And I'm just going to go through it quickly because, like I say, we haven't been out detecting and I've got a little bit of information for you later on. If at any point during this you know what we're looking at and I don't know what we're looking at, can you please comment, let us know. If you've any ideas to make our channel a bit better or run smoother, let us know in comments. And please, if you like it, click like. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Yeah. So let's start. We've actually had that, which, as you can see, is a modern penny. It's a 1980 modern penny. So that's where the history of this field starts, 1980. And we've had another couple of coins which we think are decimal coins as well. So we're talking about 80s, 70s is where we're starting with the field. So that's not great. The next thing that came out, which is 1942, is a threepenny bit. I remember these when I was a kid, and I've no doubt a lot of you remember them when you were a kid. But that's a 1942 threepenny bit. So that carries on the history, obviously, into there, which takes us on to another 1 penny piece, which is a 1949. Quite a nice one is that, which they don't often come out of this field like that, which I'm going to go on to. So we were quite happy to get that. That's in really good condition, as you can see. If I get it in light, look at that. Beautiful. I've put a little bit of wax on that to stop it getting any worse. But as you can see, it's a lovely coin, is that? So, but most of the coins that we get are like these next three ones. And we've probably had 5 or 6 like this, but these are just to show you how they normally come out of that field. And this is how we normally get them. So whether it's quite an acidy soil or for whatever reason, this is what we normally get from that field. You can see where date would have been at bottom, but I can't get anything off that. Nothing at all. Then obviously these other ones, which, again, you can see a bit of copper coming through there. But there's nothing that I can read off that. And another one, which is same. Nothing I can get off that at all. If anybody can shed any light, I'm wondering if these are maybe farthings or something, maybe a halfpenny, that one, because obviously this is a penny. So from there we move on to musket balls. Now obviously that is a musket ball or a pistol shot, whatever, it's quite small, so imagining it's a pistol shot, that's, there's no doubt about that. But this also came out, which I thought were a musket ball pistol shot that had hit something, because it's got a little dit on it, which you'd think a musket ball might have. But as you can see, it's flat. We also got another one of them, which is like that, with a little dit on top, flat again, which at first I thought were a musket ball, but I think there's iron in the middle of that, because if you can see, it's actually rusty in the middle, and I think it goes all the way through to there. So I'm now thinking that's probably not a musket ball or out like that, but again, I've no idea what it is. If anybody knows, please comment, please let us know. If you think that is a musket ball or not, please again comment, let me know. Just say, the flat-edged musket ball into musket ball, it's whatever. But I've definitely had that musket ball, and we've had another one as well, which has been put away somewhere. So we've definitely had 2 that we know are definitely musket balls. So that carries on that history. Just going back a little bit, there's some buttons here. This is a variation of alt buttons we've had. These are like little shirt buttons or something from farmhands. They've got bits of writing on them. One's a local one. Maybe a local farm or something. This is probably going back to pennies and that. And then I think that's maybe a pewter button that's been broke. This one's no idea what that is, and maybe that's pewter as well, I don't know. So buttons covering quite a few many years. And last possibly, I don't know, 1600s or something. That could have been a lead bag seal. If you can see, it's 2 bits of flat. Note on it now. I think there was something here at one point. If anybody again can shed any light on that, please let me know. Yeah, again, there's note on that. But it just carries on that history, doesn't it? You know, that we've got out of the same field as we're talking about. Just quickly, before I go on, I've got some exciting things coming up with this permission. The farmer informed us just before Christmas that he's got 2 other fields, which he hasn't told us about because they're planted and they're too high for us to get in at the moment. But he would be harvesting them probably late June, July. And he says, the minute I harvest it, you can get in there. And as far as he knows, no one has ever been in there detecting. Although we have seen what we think is like nighthawk holes in fields that we've been in, that we think people have been in there that he don't know about. So we're hoping with crops being high and that we will be first in there. So that's exciting. Again, subscribe to the channel and you won't miss no. We'll be getting in there probably in summer. Until then, though, we'll be detecting these fields for as long as we can before crops are too high. At the moment, they're perfect. So we'll be getting back there in next week or 2. So carrying on from that history, the next thing I got out of that field was this. Now this is my first ever hammered coin. I didn't know what it was at the time, but when we got home and give it a clean, we was very quickly told that it was a Commonwealth Silver Shilling from the time of Cromwell. These were minted between 1649 and 1660. I can't see a date on this. It's quite heavily clipped around edges and the date's gone. But it's definitely from those 11 years. They were the only 11 years this were minted. And again, I've seen these on auction sites as a whole sell for quite a lot of money. Not that I'd ever sell that, because that is my first ever hammered coin. And I'm quite proud of that one. But again, this is dating back to nearly 400 years. So this carries on from the history. That tells us people were there then, you know. From there, we move into probably my best find ever. This is definitely my local FLO has completely said it is a Viking sword pommel from 900 AD to 1100 AD, somewhere in there. Where we found this, there's only ever been one more found, and she wants to record it. So in the new year, we're taking it over to her office, and she is going to record that, where it was found and everything. I've got all the coordinates and everything. So, but yeah, that is a 1,000-year-ish old Viking sword pommel. Now, when we showed our farmer this, he started laughing, and we sort of said, what are you laughing for? Because I thought it was some sort of draw pull. You imagine, like, you know, a knob on there, pull it. He said his dad had always told him that they had Viking blood in them. Now, I know that sounds ridiculous, but he says, what if my great, how many times granddad were a Viking and came over here and pillaged a few towns and things like that, and then saw this bit of land where he was and thought, I'll have this, I'll have a farm. I don't know. The mind boggles, doesn't it? But it could be from one of his descendants. And he were really chuffed to see that when we told him what it was, and really chuffed it were being recorded and all that. He's great, it's farmer. We class him as one of our friends now. He's really good. So that is definitely a Viking sword pommel. There's possibly a little bit here missing, which would be a smooth bit, which would go on the sword first, we think. But who knows? We might turn that up when we go back. Let's hope, fingers crossed. That then takes us on to this. Now, I thought that were a key. I have to say, a snapped key, because it's solid on end. I thought it's got to be a little clockwork key or something like that, which is nice, you know. I'd be quite happy with that, a little clockwork key. We were very quickly told when I posted it on a forum that it wasn't a key, that it was actually the end of a spur. A medieval spur at that, possibly even Roman spur. I did have a picture of it on computer, but I haven't printed it out. I meant to print it out to show you. But if you Google like a medieval spur or a Roman spur, you'll see on the ends, each end, there's one of them there and one of them like this side, and it must have been for straps to go round boots. But that is definitely off at least medieval, but possibly Roman. I've found Roman and medieval that look exactly the same. So that ties us between Vikings and Romans somewhere, or, you know, around about the time of the Vikings or whatever. But that is a really nice find, is that. I'm really chuffed with that. And lastly, on the board is these two items, which I'll put in the middle. These two items, we don't know what they are, but we've been told on forums and on websites that they both possibly are Roman. This, when I got it out, I thought it looks a bit like a spindle whorl, but it's a bit small and there's no pattern on it or out like that. We've been informed that the Roman spindle whorls would have not, a lot of them wouldn't have had a pattern on, and they would have been flat bottomed. So we've been given a sort of an 80 to 90% chance that this is Roman. Again, if you know different, let me know in the comments below. But we've been told there's a very, very good chance that that is Roman. And I'm going with that, obviously, because it's my first Roman find. So that. And then that leads us on to wife's find. Now, she found this last time we went. And as you can see, there's something on there that's been ground off over the years, and it looks like it's been broke. But it's definitely coin-shaped and very thin. And we have also been told that this could be a Roman coin as well. Now, it could be. Same as the spindle whorl, could be. I am saying to you, this is definitely Roman, and I'm not saying my spindle whorl's definitely Roman. What we're saying is, it's old, very old. And these two items could be 2,000 years old. Plus, I mean, they might be older than 2,000 years. So that concludes my little video this week for you. That there represents over 2,000 years of occupation on one field. And that one field, we've probably only detected about half of it. So we've been going back many times yet and detecting it with coils, different settings, frequencies, different directions. We will make sure everything comes out of that field for you guys to see. So please subscribe, hit the notify, don't miss anything, because we are so excited about it and our new fields. And just very quickly to finish, the wife got a 6-inch coil for Christmas, which you'll see in the shorts, and we are going to be detecting our local permission soon in the woodland area. Now, there's quite a big woodland area in it, which we haven't been in yet, because with 11-inch coils, we didn't bother. But now she's got a 6-inch, and I've got a 6-inch with my Legend. We're going to get in there and have a couple of days just detecting in woods. So that'll be coming up in New Year quite soon. So please keep in touch, keep commenting, keep subscribing, and we will see you in a muddy field very, very soon. Ta-da!